Hello, this is Mr. Huff, and let's talk about setting up your engineering notebook. This year we're going to be using composition notebooks that are quad ruled. This means that each page is made of graph paper with about quarter-inch squares. Okay. On the front cover, I need you to clearly print your name, first and last, and the title of the course that you're in. And the period is nice as well. So if you would record that information in ink on the front, that lets me help you get your notebook back if it is lost. Another thing is we will add a piece of duct tape to reinforce the spine so that your composition notebook is more durable. So we will wrap tape from about the top to the bottom. On the inside cover, on the very first page, in very large letters, you're going to write your first and last name and the name of your class. On the cover, you're going to put your Project Lead the Way login information that I provide to you. And I suggest putting a couple of sticky notes in the front and back of your notebook because sometimes you need to write a note and you need to pass that on to someone, and I do not want you tearing pages out of this notebook. The next thing you're going to do, starting on the back of the title page, is you're going to number all of the pages at the top left and at the top right. Yes, all of them. It's about 200. It just takes a few minutes if you do it. Write small and neatly in the top left and in the top right. Number them all. On the back of the first page, that is number 1, you're going to write the very important words, never tear out pages. And I mean it. The thing is with the composition notebook, if you tear a page out, the one that is opposite to it in the book also falls out and it messes up your numbering. So don't tear pages out of this book. Then you're going to start your table of contents on page 2. You're going to drop down about 3 or 4 rows and draw a straight line across to define your title area. And then you're going to go about an inch from the inside spine and draw a vertical line to kind of separate where you're going to list your page numbers. And then this will be your title area. So in this case, you'll need to start numbering at about page 5 because the first 5 pages will be full of numbers. So you're going to number 1 number per row for every page. Don't go to about the last 3 lines. Leave these last 3 rows open. So number from the top to the bottom. Give 1 line for every page in your notebook. And since you've numbered them, you know how far you need to go. On the back cover, I would like you to take this top corner, fold it down, and glue it down with a few drops of glue. And then you need to take a thin line of glue along the outside edge and across the bottom and glue this page to the back of your notebook. What this does is it creates a pocket for you to put useful information in, like your formula chart, or if you have, like a writing guide or something that you want to include in your notebook that you use as reference. So it gives you a pocket to use. So every notebook needs to have this. How the pages are going to work for notes. The very top zone, you're going to reserve about 3 to 4 rows for a title. It should already have a page number here. So draw a line across the top of every page that you're going to use as notes and give it this is where you'll put your title. Normally what you do is after you've done your notes, make a brief title that describes what is on that page, and that title will also go into your table of contents. This will be your notes zone, so below the line all the way down to near the bottom of the page. This will be used for your notes and data and all that sort of thing. Notice when you write dates, I want them written like this. You write the first 3 letters of the month and then the date and then draw a box around it, and it's always near the outside edge. So on the right side page, it's always on the right edge. On the left side page, it's always on the left edge. This lets us quickly see what date that you were working on this, and you always write down the date every day. I will try to remind you, but I'm going to be looking for this when I do notebook checks. Okay, so always box and put a date every page. This last three lines, or the last three rows down here, we'll call this the no write zone. So don't take your notes from the top and go all the way across the bottom and write on this little half. It gets really hard to read. It's hard to write down there. So always leave these last few rows open. Another thing is, if you're scanning your notebook to turn it in on Canvas, I want you to sign your name in this zone. So it needs to be clearly legible. I don't mean initials. I need to be able to recognize who this is by what you write right here. So you will sign your pages across the bottom for anything that you scan and turn in. When you tape materials into your notebook, let's say I will give you handouts about, for instance, dimensioning rules and that sort of thing. If it's a full page, you're going to fold it in half approximately. And I want you to use two pieces of tape no longer than about an inch. And you're going to tape these papers in close to the spine, so it will open out like a page. This keeps your work and your materials neatly organized, and you're not going to lose them. And then you would just title the page, dimensioning guidelines, and add that to your table of contents so you know where to find it. And this way, if I pick up your notebook and shake it, it's not going to fall out. And then when you are done for the day, you can fold it all up and it closes neatly. And it's just the way I expect you to do things. No loose papers. So don't grab tape and tape all the way around the page to try to stick it in. Just two pieces of tape about an inch long, tape near the spine. That's how you tape things in. I will also give you half-page handouts that will go in nicely. You can use the two pieces of tape near the spine and tape them in like a page. Or if you want, I will provide glue to glue them into your notebook. And I really suggest doing this with the half-page inserts. When you glue, what I want you to do is put 5 dots of glue on the back. Wait a minute. First, I need to say first. Complete your notes, diagrams, anything you need to write on this page, any coloring. If there's anything for you to fill in, do that first. It's hard to write on a wet page. So do that first, and then you're going to put 5 dots of glue on the back. You can smear them around with the tip of the glue bottle a little bit if you want. That will speed up the drying, but put 1 in each corner. Just a little dot, a little dot, a little dot, and then 1 in the center, and then place it on the page. And this is just enough to hold it in and keep it from falling out without wasting the glue. All right, that is the basics of setting up an engineering notebook, and I expect this to be done.